Okay, driveway drills, at-home ball handling, basketball workout. If you have, say 30 minutes, you're looking for some things to do. We're going to jump rope. We've already done that. Some stationary ball handling and then some form shooting. Those are 3 things I did before, every practice and every game when I was playing basketball overseas. Highly recommend doing that. Something I would do at a younger age is there. So what are some combination drills that we can do? I might start out with some pull dribbles here. Right, might start out with some pull dribbles here, keeping hand on top and on the sides. Right, I might do some tight crossovers and some wide crossovers. And as I'm working out basics between the legs, I want to make sure I'm not twisting my hips. And as I work on a little bit of stationary, then I'll build in and add the footwork, obviously. But as you think about, doing a lunge hold, a squat hold, I can kind of get some of the same benefits doing a athletic base, holding this position while I'm working on my stationary ball handling right here. Might do some V cross, V cross, V cross. This is great. Right, just change up your dribble type while you're working on your handle. Drill you can do for time. It's 20 seconds, so for 20 seconds I'm holding a good athletic base. All right, and it's V cross, that's 1. V cross back is 2. V between the legs, that's 3. 4. V behind is 5. V behind is 6. And then it repeats this series. So you have 2 crosses, 2 betweens, 2 behinds for 20 seconds. Every time you switch hands, you give yourself a point. All right, good isometrics, good hands, good little warm up. All right, tell me when.
Go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Ooh. All right, so 21, you get the idea, you make a mistake, so what? As long as you're going hard, working on that base, keep pushing, get better, and see how many points you can get, or if you can beat my score of 21. So as we jump rope, I always tell our players, you don't want to stand, be more in a stance, so my feet are hip width, they're not right next to each other. And again, for today, just kind of activation, so we're going 20, 30 second per set. Base jumps right here, hips back, chest out, knees, ankles, hips hinged slightly. Just keep that warm up going. So that's one set. You can keep it rolling. You can change up the footwork type, but again, I'm going 60 to 75% speed today, nothing crazy. So those were 2-foot base jumps. Then we'll go into alternating. When I go alternating, I'm going to try to concentrate on bringing my knee up in front and dorsiflexing my toe, land on the ball of my foot. A lot of players will just kind of kick back like this when they're jumping rope. And if we want to work on sticking the floor, sticking the landing, being explosive, this is a little better alternative if you're jumping rope, especially for alternating. All right, I'm just kind of guessing. I've jumped rope long enough, and probably you can confirm. Is that close to 20, 30 seconds approximately? Yeah. So usually when I'm going slower, we'll go, say I'm jumping for 20 seconds, might rest for 20 seconds. If I'm going at a faster pace, say 75% speed, I might jump for 20, rest for 40. Bigger rest to work ratio, recover, so then when you do go, you're popping a little bit faster. But because I'm not trying to go very fast, I'm not trying to rest for too long either. So I have one more set here, and I'm gonna work on some hip turns, which I'll show you right here, 3 spots. It's one of my favorite jumps to work on changing direction. Most people don't jump and rope. Guess what? I hate jumping rope. I think it sucks, but I do enjoy the results. It makes it worth it. And the more you work, the better you get at it. Just make it a little bit more, not easier, but jumping rope sucks when you make a mistake every third jump, but stay persistent, keep practicing, and you get that rope work in. So RPR. Okay, so form shooting. If I'm working on my form shooting, one thing that I recommend is starting a little farther back than most people. Starting here, working on your form shooting. Is that wrong? No, I'd just characterize that more so as finishing. I think you can work on your touch from being that close. But if I want to work on something that resembles more or less a shot, I want to back up to a point that I feel more comfortable taking said shot. So if I'm going one hand, I'm bringing my other hand up, but I'm not touching the ball, right? And I might knock down 5 of those, right? If I'm losing time, and then I'm come back another step, roll-ups, working on keeping the basketball tight to my body. And although you're gonna see the ball kind of slow down or slightly pause when my palm gets underneath the ball, I'm thinking, can I move more or less through that palm to ceiling or palm to sky position as I'm taking that shot. So depending on how much time I have, that might determine how many of those I shoot. Let's say I want to make 5 of that finish, 5 of those roll-ups. Now let's add the legs. And I'm finishing up on my toes. Make another 5 or 10. All right, so you can start to see how this is going to compound as far as getting your makes in and working my way back to a distance that is going to build into more game speed. So maybe I make 10, 15 of those, then I go back to the foul line. Maybe I want to do some pull the strings, and I'm going to jump a little bit. So we're here. Take that shot. Imagine receiving that pass if you don't have a rebounder. Maybe you want to shoot off the hop. So maybe I work on being more of an upright position, and that ball comes to me, I drop into my shooting stance. Get up there, take that shot, make that one. I like shooting more off of a step than a hop personally, but there's some times where you're gonna have to use a variety of footwork to get your shot off. Ooh, let's do that one again. There it is. So you're working on your form. I might go one hand tight with the roll up here, adding the legs, and then go some game speed, or work on both, pulling the string, pulling that ball into your frame like you're catching a pass, and then lifting up and taking the shot. Now we're ready to pick up the speed, go more game speed, game realistic shots. Add some footwork to our ball handling. We want to create space, we want to create separation, we want to be able to get to new spots on the court protecting the basketball. So what I'm going to go here, you don't need these 3 cones, just easier for you to see on the video. I'm going to work on a cross step and getting into my defender, and then I'm going to push back out at an angle to create this space. This could be in a game, you're driving here against a tight defender, we can bump out to the wing. Maybe a good defender's here, they're jamming you, you want to get to the wing, but if you go straight to the wing, they're going to jam you to the sideline. So we can work on going in to come back out. So if I'm here, I'll start good cross step, arm bar, here, boom, and I push. Here, push. Here, push. Here, push. One thing I want you to think about that you can see when I'm coming this way is when I bounce back, see how that ball's spinning in my hand? That's going to allow me to keep it in my hand longer. Players that have great ball handling ability, high ball and hand time, the ball will spin while it's in their hand, whereas a lot of players, it'll get in their hand and they'll kind of let it get stuck and then it just wants to drop right out. So concentrate on getting that ball to spin in your hand while we're moving back. And then the last thing I'm concentrating on when I'm doing these triangles is to try to square back up. I have a hoop here. Imagine getting squared back up for a shot or drive. So can I keep my hips back on the rim, protect here. Once I've created space, I'm getting back into that basic stance. Let's look at a couple more full speed. Shooting the floater, I want to think about a couple things. You know, I have a defender, probably a big, coming across from the help side. I may have an on-ball defender on my hip, and so I want to get that shot off quick. And I also want to be able to get it off when my feet aren't in a traditional shooting stance. I could be on one foot, I could be staggered here, I could be staggered here. I want to make sure that as I'm bringing the basketball up, when I shoot this ball, my elbow is above my head. So for a lot of our shooting stuff, we talk about elbow above the eyebrow. For a floater, I want elbow above the head. And then I say half break with the wrist. So on a jump shot, I want to break my wrist, right? On a floater, I want my fingers to the ceiling. That's going to allow us to get some more height on the ball, right? Some more arc on the ball, some more touch. And it will soften the shot a little bit. We're real gentle with the ball. And we're just, you know, you hardly see very little spin on it as I'm coming up into my shot. So if I'm making 5 going right, I'm doing the same thing coming out, making 5 with the left. I might change up my stance, and then as I'm coming up into that floater, I'm really working on getting those fingers to the sky. All right, so coming through here, might work on like a jump stop into a floater. I might work on a left-right, high glass, change up footwork, but notice your common finish technique from a hand standpoint is going to be elbow above the head and a half break with the wrist. We finish out the workout. There's 3 shots we're working on coming off of a screen or a cut where I'm catching out, keeping out, getting up into my jump shot. I'm working on coming off. Imagine my defenders slicing through high side immediately, ripping back. And then the third one that we're working on is just being able to come off, get squared up, and light it. So you'll make those 3 shots in succession. You have to make one before you move on to the next, and then you pick a new spot.
No audio on this clip, not sure why, but here are 3 shots. Spin out, catch out into a push out, 1 dribble pull up. We have a spin out into a rip back, and then we have a spin out into a catch and shoot jump shot.
Okay, when you're working on the last drill, right, a couple things we want to keep in mind. If I spin out and I'm imagining the defender is behind me, I want to catch out. I just want to push that out quick, right? Because if I know somebody's trailing behind me, I don't want to give them the time to catch up that it might take me to put the ball back into my midsection. So I'm just coming off, get that dribble out, and then lift up and take it. On the next one, I'm imagining that defensive player is coming through to play that steal. Maybe they were gambling. And so it's just how quick can I get that ball coming back. Maybe it's a sweep, depending on where their hands are. Coming down right there. Okay, just kind of depends. Might work on a high rip as well. And then as far as getting our feet set, there's a ton of different ways when you're coming off the screen to get your feet set. But you know, you could work on more of a stationary turn and drop. If you're coming to the ball, it might be more of a push into your 1-2. And it might be stationary sitting behind a screen where it's not really a flare, but you're almost like sitting back, waiting for that pass to come, and then you catch and get up into that shot. But that's what you want to think about when you're working on movement coming off of a screen. And if you don't have a rebounder or a partner to work out with, sometimes it's even better because you're going to get that conditioning component in. And that is definitely one of the most important aspects of becoming a really good shooter, is being able to shoot it throughout the course of a long game. Get after it.